All right, guys, so we are going to start working on remembering fractions as decimals so we can stop doing division all the time. So if we can remember these fractions as decimals, we do not have to cowboy and horse divide. So it'll save us time, and those of you who don't like to divide, this will be really helpful for you. Okay, so the first fraction we're going to talk about is if we have a fraction and the bottom number is a 10. So I want you to think of place value. So hopefully you know your place values from elementary school. So let's look here. So if I have a decimal, hopefully we know that this space right here is the ones place. So ones. So anything in this space is a 1, the ones place value. And then after the decimal, I hope we know that this one is tenths. And then it goes hundredths, thousandths. But mostly we want to talk about tenths because in our fraction on this one, our bottom number is tenths. So the way this works is if my bottom number is a 10, I need my 1 in the tenths place. So my answer is 0.1 because my 1 is in the tenths place. So for the next one, I would want my 2 in the tenths place. So 0.2 because my 2 is in the tenths place. And then it's just a pattern after that. So 3/10 would be 0.3 because the 3 is in the tenths place. And then 4/10 would be 0.4, 0.5 because the 5 is in the tenths place. Okay, and then 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. So anytime my bottom number is a 10, the number on top needs to go in the tenths place. So if my top number is a 7, 7/10. And we even say this, 7/10. And this is 7/10. So they match. So if you didn't know this, you could always definitely, like down here on 9/10, you could cowboy and horse, 9, 10, and then do your division. But if we remember this trick, we don't have to do the division, okay? So the next easy one that we need to remember is when our bottom number is a 4. So if you are working with 4s on the bottom, you need to think of quarters, like money. Quarters, okay? 1/4 is how much money? 25 cents, good. So if I was to write $0.25, this is what it would look like. So this top number is the amount of quarters. I have 1/4, that's 25 cents. So this would be 2/4. That would be 50 cents, so 0.50. This would be 3/4, so $0.75. So again, this works when your bottom number is a 4 and we think of quarters, and the top number is the amount of quarters. All right. Now the next one, this is the most important one. We have to know what 1/2 is as a decimal, and we've got to quit saying 0.2 because it's not how math works. So if I have 100 and I divide it in half, I have 50. And we need to understand that half is 50. But when it's a decimal, I really need 0.50, okay? That can also be written as 0.5 or even just 0.5. So we have to remember this. We have to know that 1/2 is 0.5. We should not have to do division, and actually solve this. Of course, like I said, you could divide any of these, but we should not have to. We should remember these things. All right, and then this bottom one, this is just like an extra freebie, okay? If your bottom number is a 3, you are going to have a repeating decimal. So if you can remember this one, it's just gonna save you a lot of time and you don't have to do division. So I'm just gonna tell you this one. So 1/3 is 0.3, and it just repeats and repeats and repeats forever. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So remember, we put that line on top. So if I have 2/3, that would be 0.6. That just repeats forever and ever and ever and ever. It'd be 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So these are fractions that we need to know as decimals. We should not have to divide these. If we see these fractions, we should easily remember them, and we are going to have a quiz on these very soon. So we are going to make note cards so you can practice these.